Well, my friends, I'm back. I'm back with my new little easy little shawlette that I thought would be perfect just for the spring. Like a little spring fling. And I'm calling it the Easy Lemon Drop Lace Shawl. Lemon drop for the little stitch I'm doing, just a simple mesh stitch with this beautiful lemon yellow color. Delicious, like a glass of cold lemonade. So I just want to come on real quick to make it easy. I'm kind of struggling with a little back pain, so I'm not going to take long tonight. And in fact, I wanted it done last week, but I just went ahead and filled in with one of my ASMRs. Thank you so much for those that are helping me, and know that, I just need a break sometimes, and that I didn't want to just leave just leave empty spaces. So I'm filling it up with some fun videos that I hope you will take advantage of and enjoy. My ASMR. But tonight, it's all about the stitch. It's my regular tutorial. So let's just get over there. And, well, you know what? Let me show you the back real quick. Let me just see. Hold on a minute. I'm going to lay the camera down, and just let it look at Birdie or something just for a second while I turn it. My arms are not long like some people can reach out and do all that. I can't do all that, people. Okay, now let me just turn it over just so that you can kind of see it. Now I'm going to slowly pick the camera back up. I'm telling you, when you're short. But there's the back, in case I was wearing it. I'm just too tired to wear it, people. But it looks really pretty. So, what do you think of Jay's? It's the Easy Lemon Drop Lace Shawl, or really a shawlette. Just for my friends. Now, let's go to the counter. Alright, so I'm not going to have to do a full overview because I just walked you through, just share it with you. But I'm going to simply lay it out real simple and then just show you the simple stitch and how to knit it and how fast it works up. As you can see, this is the back. This is one of my designs that I did a couple of years ago. We've done this before. I think it was a beautiful, I can't remember the name of the shawl, but it was kind of teal looking color. But it was real pretty. And I share it with you how I like the crescent shape because I'm so short and I don't have much torso. But I don't always want to do short rows. I'm just, I can do them, but it's not something, I'm not a big fan, If I can do it without doing it, fine. And so that's when I stumbled on, when I did that shawl, how easy it is for me to just simply put a pretty lace or stitch right in the back. Now the lace in this particular shawl or stitch does not grow. It just goes straight up the back. What makes the shawl grow is all of this garter. You can do stockinette, but I'm kind of stuck on the garter because it looks so pretty with the stitch. Got two different textures. Here's this pretty lace, and then you've got this rough looking garter stitch. See that? Alright, it's the two edges of the shawl, of this little style I made up, that grows. So now let me pull it over. First of all, look at the pretty little, and you can recognize this. This is simply yarn over lace. Yarn over lace. That's all it is. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to get it started and to do it. So now I'm going to pull this over just like this so that you can see it, and I'll check my camera so that I can make sure I'm on. Okay, I can turn it a little bit this way. Okay, so as you can see, here is the point of the shawl, or I call it the wing. This is the section that we simply add and do yarn overs, and as you can see, it just grows and grows and grows on each side to however many inches I want, or that will fit you, and then you stop. Then we'll do this pretty eyelet row. I'll remind you how to do that. We did that before too. And then we end with a couple of maybe 2 inches more of the just plain garter stitch. Garter stitch, a reminder for new people, is just when you knit every row. Okay, on the right side and the wrong side, you just knit. Really easy. So, but you see how we end on maybe 2 extra inches here to kind of go around our neck. This is the neck up here. And then we just be sure to bind off on the wrong side. I added a little fringe here. Some of you can add tassels, whatever you like. So that's the basis of it. So you see how it grows, but this stays the same, and we won't have to do it very many inches. So I'm going to just pull it just so that you can see how nice and long it is. See, and look at the shape. It makes the nice little crescent shape without me having to do or keep up with short rows. Now I'm going to just keep pulling just so that you can see it. How you can make it go as long as you want. See that? And all the way to this end. I'm going to pull it right here and make sure I'm on. And on this end, I had one of my little charms. Oops, hit the camera, sorry. I did a little charm right there. I thought would just be really great. Let me just kind of pull in just a little bit, just so you can see that. But you can see how it grows from where we stopped the little lace. And I'm going to give you a working formula. Then we start the wing, or the section that grows, until we go as far as we want. Or as far as you need, depending on how tall you are. What do you think of that? Is that pretty? All right, let me get the working formulas out so that you can get a good screenshot of it, and we can get started. Just that easy. Back in just a minute. Okay, so let me go over my working formula and make sure that you get a good screenshot of it. I may have to hold it or bring it a little closer. Let's see if I can make sure that I'm in the light. One of my lights I'm having problems with, but I've got a ring light. I just haven't put it together. Oh, such is life. All right, here's my working formula. Of course, you know I normally work with the US number 9. You will need a nice long circular needle, a number 9 circular needle, at least 36, 40, or 48, something like that, to hold all the stitches. Okay, and this little stitch, this yarn over stitch, is simply all you need is an even number or something that's divisible by 2. You know, that's even. That's the best way to put it. All right, so for medium to large, okay, here's the working formula. Here's my line. Everyone will get a border, this the little wing section starting here. You get 6 stitches on each side, and you're going to add 92 stitches for this back section for the lace. When you add all of that up, it comes to 104 stitches that you will cast on. Okay, and then you're going to knit 2 rows. 1x to 2x, that's me right here in the middle. Of course, the 6 borders on each side, and I'm going to cast on 100 stitches for the back. For all of this lace, my total number of cast on is 112 stitches. 2x to 3x, same thing, 6 and 6. You'll cast on 108 stitches for the back. That will equal a cast on of 120 stitches. And if you want to go a little larger, just keep adding 8 stitches. I think it's 8 stitches right here. That's all you have to do, because you get 6 on each side. So that's all you have to do. Make it easy and plain to understand. Now I'm going to just tip this a little bit, just so that you can get a good screenshot. How about right in there? I'll just hold it there so that you can get a good shot of it, and make sure that you find your size. I think you'll have plenty of room here, especially with the number 9 needle. It keeps it nice and loose. even though I'm using a number 4 weight yarn, which I normally use, and that's usually gauged at a number 8, at number 8. But the number 9 just gives you more drape. That's all it is, people. It just gives you a little more drape. So there it is. I don't know why I'm hitting the camera tonight. Whew, it's hot under these lights. Once you cast on, then knit 2 rows and wait for me there. All right? That's how easy it is. Let me get the little, in fact, I even wrote out the rows tonight. I didn't even feel like, my back, I didn't even feel like charting it. I just wrote it out, so I'll be back and give you the stitch. Back in just a minute. All right, so now here is just a simple write-up of the easy yarn over lace stitch. All you need is an even number, okay? And there are 4 rows, but only 2 pattern rows and then 2 purl rows. So row number 1, after you cast on your number of stitches, knit 2 rows, all right? And once we get into the actual back, and I'm gonna, I've got my little sample practice yarn. Row 1, it's knit 1, yarn over, knit 2 stitches together, and keep repeating that all the way across, and end with a knit 1. Okay, when it's time on the wrong side, you will simply purl the stitches back. Row number 3, here we go. We're just going to flip. Knit 1, now we're going to knit 2 stitches together first, then yarn over, repeat as many times, end with a knit 1. Row 4, simply purl back. Now how easy is that? It's easy, but it's a mind bender. It's a twister. You have to pay attention. For anyone who's done this simple mesh, it's easy to get lulled into, oh my gosh, I think I'm sleepy. But I'm going to show you a little trick just to help you get through it. I'm going to give you some good tips. So let me just bring this up, make sure that you can see it. Hold it there, get a good shot. I could have charted it, but I was just too tired. Okay. All right. Get you some practice yarn. Make sure you've knit your 2 rows, and you're going to need about at least 2 stitch markers, maybe 4. You can get 4 stitch markers out. All right. Back in just a moment. All right. Let's get started. The first thing I want you to do after you've knit your 2 rows, I want you to take a little locking marker, the ones that I hardly ever use, and count in. Remember, everyone has a border of 6 on the formula line. Everyone has a border of 6, so count in 6 stitches. So 2, 4, 6, and go ahead and put a little locking marker right there, right between those 2 stitches. Then come on this edge and do the same thing, just so that we won't have to stop and double check anything. So 2, 4, 6, put your little marker. Now you're going to need some moving markers because we're going to get started. So the first thing I need to do after you put in those markers, we're going to start with our little border, and right off the bat we're going to start an increase. Go ahead and have some extra markers so that we can add them as we knit across. Alright, we are on row 1, of course, but on our little formula we have to knit. We have these 6 stitches to knit, so I'm going to knit the first 3, everyone, everywhere. Knit 1, 2, and 3. Stop. Okay, this is the increase. Every right side we will increase. On the wrong side, on this border, we're going to knit. Alright, so knit 1, 2, 3. Now yarn over the needle. Yarn over. Now knit to the marker. The last 3 stitches, just like this. We have made 1 increase on this first right side row. Now take a moving marker, and I'm going to place it right there. Now maybe that wasn't a good choice of color, but I don't see another one right now. But I have a moving marker right there. Alright, so now as soon as you put in this marker, I want you to knit one right away. This is the knit one here, and this is where you'll probably may forget something. So as soon as you move the marker or slide the marker, you knit one. Then we can start across the rest of the row. Row 1, it says yarn over first, then knit 2 together. Yarn over, knit 2 together, and continue across. Now watch. So after I knit that one, now yarn over and knit 2 stitches together. Yarn over, knit 2 stitches together. Again, you may have to kind of pull your stitches down. So yarn over, knit 2 stitches together. Yarn over. Sometimes I miss my yarn over when that's how you'll make a mistake. Sometimes I don't go around the needle. Knit 2 stitches together. Yarn over, knit 2 stitches together. I've put on about 30 stitches on this little practice piece just here, but any even number. Yarn over. But you have your working formula that you're going by. So you have a long row. So continue across, and as we get to the end, I'll come back and we will increase on this end. Alright, yarn over, knit 2 together. We are on row 1. Alright, so now as you come to the end of your long row, you're still working in the pattern, yarn over, then you knit 2 stitches together. Okay, now I want you to, as you get to the very end, you should have 3 stitches left. Can you see them? 1, 2, 3. Alright, so I'm going to make sure I do my last yarn over, then knit 2 stitches together. And then I have 1 stitch left. That's why I had you to put that marker there so you know. 1 stitch left. Stop. Now I'm going to add this other marker right here. That ends the lace. And now we're going to do the increase section. You should have 6 stitches, everywhere. 2, 4, 6. Alright, so I simply, alright, after I put that mark in, then I'm going to knit to the last 3 stitches. So I just simply knit 2, and then I see the last 3 stitches on my needle. 1, 2, 3. That's where I'm going to add another yarn over. That's the increase for the shawl. And knit the last 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. That is row 1. Now I'm going to tell you the secret how you're going to be able to tell in case you get confused, because as we start we're going to be flipping. This is going to really go fast. You're going to see how fast. But I want you to notice that on row 1, where we yarn over, knit 2 together, everything lines up in 2s. A 2, 2, 2, 2. Can you see the stitches? How they just line up in 2s. 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. All the way across your long row. And then that's another way to tell in case you left one yarn over off. Then you have to go back and pick it up. So, but once you get to the end and you do your increase, now you turn the work, and of course, we're on the wrong side. Now, if you are new and you need to mark the wrong side, all you need to do is just take a little piece of contrasting yarn and a little crochet hook, and then you can just hook it on there just to remind you. In fact, I will probably have you to do that once we get up a little more. I don't have my crochet hook over here, so I'll remind you to put some contrasting yarn, and it's just a way to help you knit faster. Alright, so I'll remind you that. But as we turn the work to the wrong side, row 2, alright, it says purl, but now that's just for the chart. These first stitches that represent the shawl, you're going to knit. So you just knit whatever the number of stitches there, and you'll see the increase that yarn over. You just go ahead and knit it. Knit all the way to the marker, just like this. Okay? Now, when you before you even slide the marker, take your yarn and bring it to the front because we're going to be purling the lace stitches. So I bring the yarn to the front, slide the marker. Now I'm already in the purl position. And I'm going to start out and I'm just going to purl all the stitches across your long row. And now you can really see once you purl that first stitch after the marker, now you're going to see how everything lines up in twos. See? 2. So remember that represents row 1. 2. And you're going to purl all the way across. If you don't have 2, you left a yarn over off somewhere. So if you left one off like that, you go, oh yeah, I don't have no 2 now. Okay, just reach down and grab a strand right there, put it on the needle, and continue to purl across this row to help make sure that you keep the same stitch count. You got to have the same count so that you'll come out on each pattern row. You need the same number of stitches. So now I'm working across, but I'm purling. You go all the way over here to this marker, you purl. Once you purl that last stitch, you put the yarn in back, slide the marker. Now you're going to knit this group right here on the border. You will knit that. All right, and then now I will see you, like I said, you've got a long row. I will see you on row 3, another right side row. Continue to purl across, and I will be back in just a minute. Give you time. Don't rush yourself. Make sure you pick up all your yarn overs. Just like that. Back in just a moment. All right, so we are back and we're ready to work row 3, the second pattern row. All right, so we start here on the border. So let's go again. This is the border oops, get my yarn untangled here. Every time you will knit the first 3 stitches, 1, 2, and 3. Then you will stop every right side row, make a yarn over. Let me pull me some yarn. Make the yarn over. Just go over the needle, bring the yarn to the front. Now continue to knit across to the marker. Just like that. Just knit across to the marker. Now when I get to the marker, I slide the marker, and first thing I do real quick is knit that first stitch. If you don't, you may forget it. So knit that first stitch on this side of the marker. Now stop. Now let's look at, we are on row 3, and guess what? The stitches line up in 3s. Now, you may not notice it at first, so you're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then there, once we start, you're going to notice no matter how, every time you work the knit 2 together, yarn over, you're going to have 3 stitches. So let me show you. So that is the best clue in case you get confused. Now which row is on? I've knit the first stitch. Now watch. Then I knit 2 stitches together first. Then I do the yarn over. Stop. Look, I got 3 stitches again. Okay, well let's go again. Knit 2 stitches together. Then add the yarn over. Stop. Well, I've got 3 stitches again. So that tells you this is row 3. Let's continue across your long row. In case you walk away or was watching something, you're like, uh-oh, which row was I on? So I'm going to knit 2 stitches together. Make sure I get up under 2. Then add the yarn over. I see the next 3 stitches. Knit 2 stitches together. Then a yarn over. Knit 2 stitches together. Then the yarn over. And you're going to work that all the way across. But this is the one. In fact, let me see, since I haven't worked, let me see if I can get across real quick so that I don't have to stop the camera. So, knit 2 stitches together, then yarn over. 2 together, yarn over. Knit 2 together. Oops, I got a little split yarn back out. Knit 2 stitches together, then do the yarn over. knit 2 together, then the yarn over. Yeah, I can get all the way across. Knit 2 okay, I knit 2 stitches together. Always check yourself. Knit 2 stitches together, there's the yarn over, so then I go down here and I knit 2 stitches together again, then add the yarn over, knit 2 together, add the yarn over. Now as we get near the end of this row number 3, I knit 2 stitches together, then a yarn over. Okay, I have 3 stitches left. You see the 3? Right there. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I knit 2 stitches together, and on this row, row 3, you have to be sure to add this last yarn over, and then I knit that last stitch. So knit 2 stitches together, then make sure to yarn over, or you're going to be short every time, and you're going to get like, okay, this ain't coming out right. So once I have that yarn over in place, I knit that last stitch, slide the marker. Now I'm going to knit the border, and all I have to do is just knit up to the last 3 stitches on this side. 1, 2, 3, yarn over because I'm on the right side, and knit the last 3. Got a little, like I had a split yarn there, but that's okay. I'll get it in there. All right. Now on your long row, once you spread it out, this is what you should have. And we have already started the eyelet increases on each wing or each end. Does that make sense? When you turn the work, this is where I suggest that you take some contrasting yarn, and I want you to do it on right where the markers are, somewhere here, and on your long row on this end. So you will always know that this is the wrong side, and you will just be able to go faster. So I'm just going to take a crochet hook. You know how you just take a little piece of yarn, put it over the crochet hook, bring it through like you're doing fringe. But since your rows are so long, I would do one on this end and one on this end. Does that make sense? So now, just one last time, just to remind you, we have finished row 3, so now I'm on row 4. The borders, we just knit every row. There's that yarn over, see? There we go. We just knit across to the marker. And I have my little contrasting yarn. So automatically I know that I'm going to purl the lace stitches. So I bring the yarn to the front, slide the marker because, slide the marker because I have it marked to remind me. So I just purl all these yarn overs. And don't go too fast and let them jump off if you're working on metal needles. If you're working on bamboo, it holds the yarn a little, holds the yarn better. But some people just don't like to drag on them. So if you're working on metal needles, just don't let them drop off, jump off as you're working across. And you will work across, and guess what? When you turn the work, you will be back at row 1. Now the process starts. Remember the trick on row 1, everything lines up in 2. On row 3, the pattern row, everything lines up in 3s. If you can remember that, you can do this stitch real quick. Now I'm going to bring back the sample to share with you. And I'm going to work a little of this off so I can show you too when we get up to the neckline. But let me just bring the sample back so I can show you about how far to knit up and see if it'll fit you. Back in just a moment. Alright, so I thought I'd go ahead and bring back the sample because I can walk you through a little of this. I'll show you what I've done on my little practice piece. But let's talk about, well, let's talk about portions, like proportion, whether you're short or tall. All right, for instance, say 5'2" and under. It probably a good 5 inches of working the lace. When you block it, it's going to automatically block out to about 6 inches. So really all you have to do for this little flounce, it's just a flounce, it's not the whole back. We do the rest of it in garter stitch, but for this little mesh stitch, I would say 5 inches. 5'2" and under, 5 inches will work fine because it'll block out to 6. Taller, you're up to 5'5", 5'6", something like that, and taller, then try to go up to 7 inches of lace or close to it. Because like I said, when you block it, you can block it out to a real number 7 or even a little larger, 7.5, whatever. But that's your aim, to go 5 or around 7 if you're taller in the lace, just knitting rows 1 through 4, okay? Be sure, like on my little sample here, because the rows are long and it's hard sometimes to remember, especially when we get to the stockinette where we're knitting every row, which is the right side, which is the wrong side. So as you start out down here, go ahead and add a piece of contrasting yarn right here where the marker on the wrong side. You know when you're on the wrong side, on the purl side, you can add on this end piece of contrasting yarn, this end, and you're going to leave it in completely to the very end. Do not take it out, because once we get to garter, it's hard to remember the right and the wrong. Okay, so now, all right, so I said 5 inches here. So what the next thing, once you reach your 5 inches or 7 inches or close to it, then we need to stop the lace, but yet we need to continue to increase on the little wing side or the shawl side. We need to continue this. So once you finish and you do row 4, you purl the stitches and then purl back. Now you're on the right side. You will knit 3 stitches just like you were doing right here on the edge. Knit 3, yarn over, and then continue to knit. The only thing now, you knit back. This is why it's important to have the wrong side marked. Then when you get to a right side again, you will knit 3, yarn over, knit all the way across. Be sure to increase on the other side. Knit up to the last 3 stitches, yarn over, then knit the last 3 stitches on the right side row. On the rows you have marked as wrong side, knit back. Don't purl. Just knit back and continue to go. Now, I'm going to suggest that if you do 5 inches here, do 5 inches here. If you do 7 inches here, do 7 inches here. We'll come back at the end and add 2 more inches for the actual neck. So that's where I want to come back and leave you. As you start to work, the main thing is to mark your wrong side rows with contrasting yarn. And as you move up into this area, to the garter stitch area, take some more yarn and make sure you mark it again so that you don't have to look for it or that you make a mistake. Which is right side and which is wrong side. So now, like I said, I'm going to leave you to work either 5 to 7 inches here, 5 or 7 inches here, so they match. And I will come back and show you once we want to stop the increases here on the edge and add this eyelet row all the way across. We've done it before, but I'm going to do it again with you to make sure for those who didn't do the other shawl. So see, once I get up to how wide I want it, then I'll stop the increase and then just make an eyelet row, and then we'll add this little neck section and bind off. All right, so there's work to be done, and I'll see you shortly on my little sample just to let you know how to do it. Of course, you take your time because you've got a lot of yarn overs and you don't want to lose any. But I'm going to come back and just show you so it's on the video. All right, back shortly. All right, my friends, we are approaching the finish line. I can see light at the end of the tunnel. All right, now quickly, we covered, and and I gave you some suggestions on how many inches to work your lace, and then you went straight into the garter stitch where you just start knitting every row, but you kept the increases going up each edge of the shawl. Alright, so now all you have to do is continue to work, and I gave you some, a measurement there. When you get up to where you think you want to stop, before we stop the increase, take your shawl to the mirror. I know it's on the needles, but see, can you maybe get one end, push it around so that you can at least lay it across the front of your shoulder or something. Just kind of get an idea if this is where you want to stop, or do you need to go a little further? Do you need to add a little more? And remember my numbers, if you just go up in increments of 2. So if you get up here and you've got 6 inches or almost 7 inches, then you think to yourself, Jay, I wanted to go a little bit more, so I think I'll add 2 more inches before I stop the increase. So you just keep going up another 2 inches, and now you're at a place where you're happy. You needed that little extra. That's up to you. Now we want to stop the increase going up the side here, and we want to add these eyelets. They're not increases, they're eyelets. So what you do, I'm going to switch now and come over, get my little sample. We're ready to, let's see if I can just put my yarn over here out of the way. There you go. Alright, and it must be on a right side row when you decide you're going to stop. So let me check. Yeah, I think that's still good. Alright, so what you want to do is make sure that you're on a right side row, and you've made the decision you want to stop now. Alright, so I'm going to start right here on my little border. I'm going to knit 3. 1, 2, and 3. Alright, now if you were going to continue on, you'd make a yarn over and continue on, but we're going to stop, but we're still going to make a yarn over. And we're going to yarn over after the 3 stitches, but then we're going to knit 2 stitches together. Right away, just knit 2 stitches together. Stop. Yarn over again. Knit the next 2 stitches together. Yarn over, knit the next 2 stitches together. Be sure to get under 2 strands. Okay, again, yarn over, knit the next 2. Now I'm just making eyelets. There's no increase because the yarn over they're canceling each other out. Once I yarn over, then I knit 2 together, it's cancel out. So yarn over, knit 2 stitches together, just like this. And of course by now you're way at the top and you have a long row. But you just take your time, yarn over, knit 2 stitches together, and that's what you have. You can see the yarn overs. Now you're going to go all the way to the edge. When you get over here, you yarn over, you'll knit, let's see, I can't remember quite how I did the end of it. Alright, so you'll get over here, and you'll yarn over. The main thing is to leave these 3 stitches on the edge. So you yarn over, knit the last 2 stitches right before these 3. I think you knit those 2 together. Okay, then you just knit 1, 2, 3. Then you turn the work. Since we're working garter stitch, now you're going to knit all the way back, taking all those yarn overs off. You're going to knit all the way back. Let me get this one so you can see it. Once you put all the eyelets in, then when you, on the wrong side, you're going to knit everything, every stitch, till you get back to the front of the work, and guess what? Now you just start knitting every row again. Now you're up here. And I suggest to go at least 2 inches maybe 2 more inches to make this nice neckline. And you'll just knit back and forth. We've stopped the increase. We've made the eyelet row. Now we just knit back and forth for at least another 2 inches. And then when it's time to bind off, so that I get this pretty little beaded edge at the top. See how nice that looks? Bind off on the wrong side of the shawl. On this side, because you'll have your wrong side marked. Remember, so don't take that out. You bind off on the wrong side, but with the knit stitch. Knit 2 stitches, reach back and bind off. Knit the next stitch, reach back and bind off. All the way across. And remember, I used a little extra needle, so there's no pull or tug, or the stitches. My bind off is always nice and loose because I use a separate needle than the needle that I have the fabric on. You've seen me do that, well, on everything. And then when you're done, since this does not come to a real pointed edge because we have this neckline and it's kind of flat, you see that going across there? I put 2. I did some fringe and I put it right here on the end and then right here where the eyelet row started. I stuck 1 here and here. I put about 10 strands, and then you double it and make the fringe, or if you rather have a beautiful tassel, you can do that also. What do you think of that? And guess what? Your shawl, of course you have to either, depending on what your fabric is, your content of your fabric, you need to wet block it or steam it. And this is when the magic, of course, everybody talks about the magic when you block it out. This is when you can block it out, pin it if you like, to get it to stay, but you want to block this lace out. You don't block this out. You don't have to block this, the garter stitches, just the lace. You want that, and especially, let me just share it with this, especially down here where we cast on, this was a little tight for me, so as I steamed mine and blocked it, I would kind of stretch the bottom edge of the lace. You see that? I would steam it, and then I'd just kind of stretch it a little bit, to make that edge nice and relaxed, so I'd get a nice edge. But you don't have to worry about any of this. If you just kind of smooth it out, or do it, if you have to do it, just do it lightly and kind of smooth it with your hands. But I wouldn't really try to open this up, but you definitely have to open the lace. Well, my friends, this is so pretty. Oh, let me just show you my little, before I go, I did me a little shawl charm. I do my little shawl charms. I've got some videos on those where I just take, because I have a lot of beads, I just take beads and some chain and a lobster clasp, and I hook beads on there. Isn't that pretty? Just add something, especially if this is a gift. That's all there is. And you can you can use beads that you already have, or you can go get something special. You can get beads with words on them. Maybe the person, has a word that they like, hope, inspire, love. Whatever it is that, that just adds on to your, pull that in a little bit, just adds on to make a nice statement for your lemon drop lace shawl. What do you think of this one? Oh, it's so pretty, and the color is just wonderful. Like I said, my prototype here is in Karen Simply Soft, and I don't even know what the color is, but just a bright yellow, just a bright lemon color. But, you choose something that will work for you. Well, I can't think of anything else. I am so glad that I did this. Like I said, the lace doesn't make the crescent shape. It's the garter. It's the garter stitch. that makes the pretty crescent shape, so that I don't have to do any of, have to add any short rows. Let me just kind of bag back. So I don't have to, do any of the short rows. I can just do garter stitch enough for what I need. And this is a beautiful spring shawlette. So, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you give this a try. I am so happy to get this done. And, I just wish everyone well. Just so much, just wish everyone well. So, to all my friends, everyone, everywhere, every size, this is Jay. And until I see you again, watch for more ASMR just to give me some relaxed time, give my shoulders a time to rest. I appreciate it so much, and I'm going to make them fun. So, next time, bye-bye.